lives a harder life, men or women?
Women.
Men.
I would
I
say
would
All right,
say
raise the
women.
hands.
Think
Hold on,
about
hold on.
it.
Raise the hands if you think men live a harder life than women. 3. Yeah, and y'all want to live a harder life, I guess?
I want to have full autonomy of who I am. I want to be able to make my own decisions. If I have to work harder for that, then I will work harder for that. I
Okay.
want to be able to like.
How many of you
Nobody-
think, and then real quick, how many of you think women live a harder life than men do? Raise your hands. Only 1?
2.
2?
2
3?
and a half.
3? So 3 of you think that. So, okay, ladies, let's make this very simple.
Okay.
Raise your hands nice and high if you think it's easier to live life as a man than as a woman. You think it's easier to live life as a man?
Yes.
You 3.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It is easier
Okay,
to live
well,
life as a man.
nice and high, so I get an idea here. Right, nice and high.
So there's 4.
4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, we're
Okay.
divided.
Okay. So it's half and half, and then the other half you think it's easier to live life as a woman.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think it's easier to live life as a man?
Because we women go through a lot of changes, like physical changes, to give birth, to do so
But who
many
chooses to give birth?
us.
Okay.
But that's like it's harder for us. We have to take care of ourselves more. We have to be more calm. We have to be a providers for our own if we want to, of course.
No.
If the man is not there, but we also have to deal with all these
But do you
things
have
we
to be a provider?
for ourselves. Yes.
No, but
of
do you
course.
have? But do you have to be a provider though?
Yes.
Yeah. How
Not
else are we
really,
gonna
no.
live? How else are we
Yeah,
gonna
because if
live?
you haven't
Not
find that
really.
man, or if the
Right.
man doesn't provide for you, you still gotta provide for
Well,
yourself.
who picks the man though?
Yeah, who chooses the men?
But whatever happens in life until you find that man, you have to be your own provider, and you have to deal with your issues, with your changes, with your hormonal things, with having to take take care of yourself for like later on have a baby and stuff like that. Like
Interesting.
we're more delicate, so we
Okay.
have to take care extra
Okay.
care
Who
for
else-
us
who
and
else
our
said-
men.
Who else thinks men live? You did too, right? Why do you think men live easier than women?
That's very simple.
Why?
Russia.
Yeah, because women are very emotional, and lots of women they want like a stable relationship, but men they just like Netflix and chill. And I'm not saying everyone, but young men they want to commit. But women, yes, normally like 90% of women, I think they want to commit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how many men do women want to commit with?
Again, sorry.
You're saying most women want to commit, right?
Right.
But women have standards, right?
They have standards, right? Of
Yeah.
course.
Do you think most men reach those standards?
They don't.
Oh.
Not everyone. Not
Okay.
everyone.
So would it be fair to say that women want to commit to a small percentage of men?
Not small. No, like everybody has their type. Everybody expects something, That's not funny.
No, it is funny.
No, that's not funny.
It is very funny because women want a certain demographic of men.
Every woman has different standards.
Yeah.
Yes, but most of those standards most men don't have.
How you know that?
Right.
Because I've talked to a lot of women and I know what women want. Most women don't want an average man.
But you're not a woman.
Yeah,
That's
but we fought you
irrelevant.
guys.
So you can't know. And I'm saying a different woman have this has
You
different standards.
don't have to be a woman to understand women. I would argue.
No, you have to be woman.
No, you don't.
No.
Because here's the difference between men and women. Men have to understand women to attract them. Women don't have to understand men to attract them.
Yeah, because men.
Wait, hold on. Let me make this clear. Tonight, you'll probably go to the club, right? Will men come up to you and talk to you?
I'm not going to the club.
Okay. Well, if you went to the club, or if you're on the internet, whatever, men come and approach you, correct?
Sure, because they see what they like and they go for it.
Yes. But he has to take you on a date. He has to impress you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So wouldn't it be fair to say for him to plan the date, take you out, make you feel good, etc., he has to understand you?
Yes, but normally man doesn't do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So even less men understand. But for a man to be successful, he has to understand a woman, right?
I guess yeah.
But for a woman to be successful, she doesn't have to understand a man because the man comes to her, right?
Depends. It depends on man. It really depends on man. If he going for looks, then yes. But he is not going for looks. He has also some standards.
You're missing my point. What I'm trying to say is that men must understand women to attract them. Women don't have to understand men to attract them.
But men, I mean,
To
women,
keep
but
them,
women
yeah.
have to understand men to keep them.
True.
Yeah.
But you at least get your foot in the door. Is my point.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't even get
but-
we don't even get a chance unless we understand y'all.
I know, but
get
I
where you're
mean,
coming
would
from.
you do you want that like would you rather trade the moment for the longevity? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying would you rather be okay, for example, a man talks to a woman, right?
Yeah.
He gets her, he fucks her,
Yeah.
and then he can go about his day or whatever,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, and then never talk to that woman again, and she's clearly still in her feelings about it, right?
Okay.
So like imagine you having those emotions and it's like hormonal too. So sometimes we can't even like really help
Yeah,
it.
but you're discounting all the work it took the man to sleep with the girl.
Let's be real. Like there's so many unwanted kids in this era that we know that it is really not that hard for
Okay,
men
for
to
a
sleep with
man to
women.
have sex with a woman, it actually is hard. You just don't know it because you're a female. It actually it's very difficult for men to have sex with women. And if you don't believe me,
Maybe
look at pornography.
someone,
Look at
some men.
OnlyFans.
It's
A majority
difficult.
of men absolutely struggle with getting women.
Yeah.
You know, okay, you guys don't believe me? How many guys approach you and are weird when they approach you?
95%.
Oh, that's the majority, isn't it?
Oh,
I mean,
Awkward. Don't know how to
Some
speak to you. Make you feel creepy. Most guys that you look on Tinder and Bumble, you probably swipe left on them. You probably don't find them attractive. Most men are virtually invisible to most women.
That is true. You have to
And
have like
I-
something really beautiful to
you
get
know
me
what,
to talk to you.
Myron, I actually have Shelly. He actually brought the girl and the Russian girl and the girl next to Fresh on the panel. So Shelly, did you have to approach him? Like, tell me how you approached him.
The Russian lady, I approached her because she has nice nails and she looks good from far.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
So I let her know about what I do and why am I approaching her. And then I told her about the podcast and here we are.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
Simple as that. Nice tits and nails.
Thank you.
Modesty, I use
Chris, just shut up, bro.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
unnecessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, going back to what I was saying as far as like the women living life easier, because you're saying that it's harder to be a woman than a man, correct? That's what you were saying before.
Yeah.
And you're saying because emotional and you said right your period.
Women are more emotional. Yeah.
So you think that's harder?
It is harder. And to know other thing is that
But who
women are
controls their
getting
emotions?
one moment. Women are getting older faster than men.
Okay.
You know, when a man is getting older, they like look better, and woman is just getting older and she's not like attractive anymore. Like she can be attractive, but men are always going like mostly men are
younger.
going for younger women.
Okay. But does that make life harder or that you have more opportunities earlier in life?
It really depends, but I think it makes like for men or for women.
For women.
For women, harder to find a partner.
Yeah, but I think women have more opportunities to find a partner.
Not a
Young
decent
woman
one.
or
Yes,
older
young woman,
woman?
yeah.
Younger, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what I'm saying. Men are going for younger women.
okay, but here's my question. If a woman becomes 30 years old and she doesn't have a man, whose fault is that?
It's nobody's fault.
It's her fault.
No, it's not her fault.
Why not?
Maybe men just were playing with her.
But then she didn't pick the right guy.
Yeah.
Let me
and
ask you a
he
question.
was manipulated.
Let me ask you a question. If I give you $1 million when you're 18 years old, and then by 30 years old, you're poor, whose fault is it?
It's
How
'cause
is
of
that
your
the same
fault.
analogy?
I'll explain that in a second.
I
But
mean,
if
here's
I
the
give
thing.
you $1 million at 18 years old, and then by 30 years old, you're poor, whose fault is it?
Why should I be poor at 30s?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if you're poor at 30 years old, whose fault is it that you lost the money?
But if you give me money, why should I lose that money?
That's my
I'll
point.
get an apartment. You know,
Okay. What I'm trying to say is if you're 18 years old, right? And I give you $1 million, and then by 30 years old, you're poor, it's your fault. That's what happens with women. Women get their value up front when they're 18 years old. If you don't find a man by the time you're 30, when you were given $1 million, you've wasted your money. You didn't invest it properly. You didn't pick the right guy. You didn't get married. So here's the difference between men and women. Women get their $1 million up front. Men have to earn their $1 million, and they might not get it. At least you get the $1 million up front. So if you're not able to find a guy, it's your fault. So I would argue women live life a lot easier than men do because men have to earn their value. Women don't.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Only because like you're right as far as you getting the value up front. I don't think women fully understand their value until they're like 25.
Again, whose fault is that?
I'm not saying it's anyone's fault because there's beauty standards, there's the media, there's everyone from a young age telling these women, this is how you're supposed to be, this is how you're supposed to look, da 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 da. Anybody who doesn't fall within that, they think that they are now less than. And I understand that because I also do think personally that men have it a little harder than women because at any point in time, my entire life, I could get support from somebody.
Yes.
Like I could call my mom. I could call all these women around me to huddle up and like help me. Like, hey, I'm going through a mental health crisis right now. I need you. Come right now. I could get 15 people to come with me right now to help me. But even though, like, yes, I did have my value at 18, it took me until just now to realize, like, girl, you got this. You have all of this. You can do this.
Go,
you
queen.
can be like this. 18-year-old me, 17-year-old me, 20-year-old me was just like, this is a ugly, stupid woman who is just trying to figure out everything in the world. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know how to do anything. And all these men who are coming at me are wrong. They're wrong and stupid because they like me and they're wrong for it. That's just my...
Well, the reality is that if you don't know your own worth, then that's your problem. The thing is that we don't really hold women accountable for their mistakes. If you don't understand that, hey, I have more value at 18 and it takes you 7 years to realize that, well, you wasted 7 years. You know, if I give you $1 million and you don't invest it until you're 25, well, you fucked up. You could have had some compound interest and you could have, you know, cashed out sooner and gotten a better deal, but you didn't. So my thing is this, you know it, right? Women have a finite amount of time to make things happen, but at least you get the value up front. Mother Nature gives you your gifts up front. Father Time takes it away. So if Father Time takes it away, that's on you for not, you know, doing what you're supposed to do. And then you were saying, oh, a woman has to be a provider. I disagree. I think women have the privilege of choosing to be a provider or not be a provider. Men don't have that choice. Men have to be a provider, at least to be able to get a girl to some degree. You have to be able to show that you can provide. So I think women live a way easier life than men do in 2023. Do you have anything else, Miss Russia, that you disagree with as far as like women living easier?
I'm just saying, yeah, you're right that if a woman doesn't have a man until she turns 30, yeah. But like when a man is 30 years old and he doesn't have a woman, he has more opportunities to get a woman.
Yeah.
Than a woman.
But you're missing the part that the man has to work to get those opportunities.
Still.
Women don't have to work to get their opportunities. Men have to work. A man comes up to you and asks you on a date, right? And then he has to court you, impress you, take you somewhere nice, talk to you, make you feel comfortable. He has to do all the work in the beginning. What work do women have to do in the beginning? Virtually
having
nothing.
to deal with that person.
And yeah.
Having to what?
Having to deal with the guy.
But if you like him, then why are you dealing with him? Like,
yes, you're right. You're right.
You like him, so
But
it's not a burden.
Yeah, true.
But he's got to impress you.